Hey there! So for today, we're going to review the lessons that you have tackled, which will be covered for the first long quiz for the first quarter exam. So by the end of this lesson, you will be able to recall the concepts of the origin of the universe, recall the concepts of the hypothesis pertaining to the solar system, and discuss what enables a planet to be habitable. So first, we're going to talk about the theories on the origin of the universe. Of course, we already had these objectives, so now let's proceed. We know that the whole universe started about 13.8 billion years ago. Well, at least that's our theory. And this is the question that we've been asking. Of course, I asked you that already dun sa may video natin. Kasi nga naman, kung titignan natin yung sky, punong-puno siya ng wonders. Ang daming stars, ang daming galaxy. The more na nag-i-improve yung technology natin, the more na may nakikita tayong bago sa space. That's due to the fact that we are human being, tayong mga tao, mga existential questions. Like, saan ba tayo galing? Or, ano ba yung mga roles natin sa mundo? So, andito tayo sa mga theory or mga listings ng mga theory about the possible origin of the universe. So, of course, the first one, we have the Bible. And ito yung pinaka-main basis natin para sagutin yung kung saan tayo galing or ano yung purpose natin sa mundo natin. And that is creationism. According to creationism, nagawa yung mundo natin for about 6 days. And it's from the book of Genesis. Rigveda naman, ito yung pinapaniwalaan nila sa mga Hinduist. Nakabase siya sa Hindu text called Rigveda. And according to Rigveda, galing ang mundo natin sa cosmic egg called the Brahmanda. Of course, we cannot stop people from thinking. And Anaxagoras is one of them. Isa siya sa mga pinakauna na nag-conceptualize kung saan nga ba galing ang mundo natin. And that is called the primordial universe. According to Leucippus and Democritus, everything in the world is composed of small, indivisible, and indestructible atoms. And this one is called the atomic universe. Everything in the universe is composed of atoms. Of course, right now we believe that yes, everything is composed of atom, lahat ng matter. But, hindi pa yon yung pinakamaliit. I mean, kung titignan kasi natin, if we look at kung anong composition ng isang atom, it is composed of neutrons, protons, and electrons. Mga particle accelerators natin, mayroong mga hadrons, mga photons. And ito yung popular na mga philosophers natin, si Aristotle and Ptolemy. According to them, the universe is a geocentric one. Ibig sabihin, very special yung planet natin. And they thought na based on this, siguro yung universe natin is tayo talaga yung sentro. Lahat is umiikot sa atin. Yan. But Nicholas Copernicus, medyo hindi siya agree dun sa thought nila Aristotle. Kasi according to him, the sun is the center of the universe. Based on advancement of technology, we challenge this theory. And it was already proven, especially dun sa theory ni Giordano Bruno, hindi pa yung sun yung center of the universe, but instead, we are just a part of one big universe. According to Newton naman, he stated that the universe is static. Ibig sabihin, hindi nadadagdagan or nababawasan yung matter sa universe natin. It is because of gravity. Kasi pag sinabi natin na gravity, kapag masyadong maraming objects or nadadagdagan yung objects or matter sa universe natin, mas malakas yung attractive force. Ibig sabihin nun, everything in the universe should collapse. Kasi nga, mag-a-attract silang lahat. And according to static universe, everything is balanced. Ibig sabihin, yun nga, walang nadadagdagan. So, kung anong meron dati, yun pa rin yung meron ngayon. and matter is uniformly distributed across the universe. Ibig sabihin yan, dahil kalat-kalat yung matter sa universe natin, nakaka-cancel out yung attraction nila sa bawat isa. Kaya walang nagko-collapse. According to René Descartes naman, he believed in Cartesian model, but also he supported Newton's steady-state universe, wherein he stated that empty spaces around the universe are filled with matter swirling around in a vortex called gravitational effects. So, ibig sabihin, yung mga void sa space natin, they are not actually empty. They are composed of something, which accounts for bakit hindi nagbabanggaan yung mga planets or mga celestial bodies natin. Kasi there is something in between the celestial objects. According to Albert Einstein, he supported the static universe. But he strongly suggests that the universe is neither contracting nor expanding. Pero this was wrong according to Edwin Hubble. Kasi nakita niya na hindi talaga static yung universe. Pero instead, nag-expand siya. And this one brought about the modern theory of the universe, which is called the Big Bang. And according to the Big Bang theory, the universe was once very small and expanded from a tiny single point called singularity. And it expanded, which then in turn became matter. The expansion of that singularity gave birth to the universe. And yung nag-theorize nito is si Georges Lemaitre. Ngayon, the question is, meron nga bang mga evidences for the expansion of the universe? Meron. And mag-start tayo sa blue shifting and red shifting of galaxies. This one is first observed by Vesto Schipper. Ibig sabihin ng blue shifting and red shifting, yung mga malalapit na galaxies, lumalapit siya. While yung mga malalayong stars naman or mga malalayong galaxies is parang lumalayo siya from a single point. Ibig sabihin nun, kapag may lumalapit or may lumalayo, ibig sabihin may common point siya. This one is supported by Edwin Hubble because of his extensive study. Observe niya yung blue shifting sa Andromeda Galaxy, which is the closest galaxy dito sa Milky Way Galaxy, or kung saan tayo. And also found out na sa other galaxies far from us is nagre-redshift siya or lumalayo siya. Bakit lumalapit yung Andromeda Galaxy? Kasi ibig sabihin nun, mas malapit siya sa center. So ibig sabihin yan, habang papalapit ng papalapit yung Andromeda Galaxy, papalayo din tayo ng papalayo from a common point, which is mas malapit yung Andromeda Galaxy dun sa center void na yon, which is yung supermassive black hole ng universe natin. Ibig sabihin nun, parang nag-i-inflate or nag-expand talaga yung universe natin, and expanding means red shifting. So therefore, lahat ng stars is nagre-redshift siya. So in conclusion, hindi talaga static yung universe natin. But instead, it came from a single point called singularity. And this singularity expanded, which is called the Big Bang theory. Of course, bakit siya theory? Kasi we don't have a proof and we still don't have a way to test it. And another thing na evidence para sa Big Bang Theory is the cosmic microwave background radiation, or yung malaking radiation na galing mismo sa creation of the universe. It was theorized that Big Bang is a great expansion and cooling. Galing siya sa tiny, very hot, very small na something which is called the singularity. And when it expanded, it released huge amount of energy. Galing sa energy na yan, naging matter siya, which are the things that we see today. And cosmic microwave background radiation is or was found out by Arno Penzias and Robert Wilson. Accidental lang yung pagkakadiscover niyan. However, after a few years, na-convert ni Robert Dicke yung observation or yung microwave frequencies na detect nila Arno Penzias and Robert Wilson. That is, after 30 years, na-convert na siya into an image. And according to the image na ipapakita natin mamaya, hindi symmetric yung distribution ng matter and temperature. Kasi nga, may mga gradient siya or merong mas highly saturated tapos meron ding mga instant dun sa image conversion na yon na very less yung saturation ng energy, heat, and matter. So, what does this mean? Ibig sabihin nito, hindi perfectly symmetric yung universe natin. Kapag perfectly balanced or symmetric, for example, yung universe natin, if we compare it to a plate, kapag hinulog natin siya sa sahig, saktong-sakto yung pagkaka-break niya or pagkakahati-hati. Lahat ng corners ng plate na yon is exactly the same kung paano siya nahati sa gitna hanggang sa pinaka-edge, which is not the same dito sa universe natin. Ibig sabihin niyan, yung universe natin is completely unique in all corners. This was due to the fact that there was huge amount of energy. And that energy, yun yung nagbigay ng way para magkaroon ng clumps or magkaroon ng saturation, high saturation sa mga warmer areas, tapos lower saturation sa mga colder areas. Para siyang water, wherein kapag nilagay mo siya sa isang surface which is hydrophobic, nangyayari is nagka-clump up sila. Parang ganyan yung nangyari. Kung saan mas malakas, kung saan mas mainit, dun mas nag-accumulate yung matter sa universe. Yan yung sinasabi ng cosmic microwave background radiation na image natin. So as you can see, yung mga red spots dyan, yan yung highly saturated na area ng space. Maraming heavenly bodies dyan, mga galaxies, mga ganun, mga stars. While the darker areas naman, some of them are void. So yeah, that's why non-uniform yung universe natin. So, dahil nga radiation to, ibig sabihin, we're looking at a photo from the past. Galing siya sa potential energy na convert siya into kinetic energy, and that kinetic energy was further converted into matter. Now let's proceed with the modern theories of the origin of the universe. At ito yung mga naging objectives natin sa lesson na yan dati. So, during the formation of the universe, yung pinaka-first na nag-exist is yung fundamental forces natin. One of them is gravitational energy, which is the attraction of matter. Yan yung first na nag-form. Until such time, karon din tayo ng attraction and repulsion of molecules, or the electromagnetic force. And then, nagkaroon tayo ng formation ng atoms natin, which accounts for the strong nuclear force and weak nuclear force. Yan yung nag-form sa mga atoms natin. Until such time, yung mga atoms natin na yan, nagkaroon ng nuclear fusion and fission, which formed light elements and heavier elements. Until such time, after 1 billion years, nagkaroon na ng gas clouds forming galaxies and stars. According to Alexander Friedman, the universe came from singularity, and he named that the Big Bang Theory. Actually, he proposed the Big Bang models, similar to other studies din lang, pero I'm basing it on his theory. So, the Big Bang models are Big Crunch, Big Freeze, and Steady State. So, ano ba yung mga explanation ng mga models na to? Lahat ng yan pare-parehong Big Bang. Pero, yung tatlo na yan, yung nagde-describe kung ano yung magiging fate or what will happen after some time dito sa universe natin. So everything is based on the critical density of the universe, or kung ano yung density ng universe natin during the expansion itself, or nung singularity pa lang siya. So, dyan nagkakaiba-iba yung Big Bang models natin. And Albert Einstein favored the Big Crunch after disproving na yung static universe natin is non-existent. So according to the Big Crunch, the critical density of the universe is far greater as compared to the singularity. Ibig sabihin, may nadagdag na mass sa universe natin. And dahil sa mass na yan, mas nagpe-favor yung gravitational energy or yung gravitational force. That's why in the future, yung magiging fate ng universe natin is that magko-collapse siya. And this one is also called the oscillating universe or the Big Crunch. The second one naman is called the steady state theory. Fred Hoyle, Thomas Gold, and Hermann Bondi believed in this model. So for steady state naman, sinusunod niya yung law of thermodynamics natin, wherein walang nadagdag na mass from critical density during singularity until now and in the future, the same lang siya. Ibig sabihin, nag-expand lang siya, and in the future, that expansion will eventually stop. That is steady state or open universe theory. The next one naman is called the Big Freeze, which is believed by Alan Guth. It states that the critical density of the universe from singularity is smaller compared to the present critical density. Pwede nating sabihin na yung mass or critical density before was subtracted kasi nga naging energy yung iba. And with that, ang magiging consequence niya in the future or the fate of the universe is that mag-e-expand lang siya ng mag-e-expand until such time na atom by atom magre-repel siya and therefore causing heat death or maglo-lose yung kinetic energy natin. Parang sa may law of thermodynamics, absolute zero na. So that's Big Freeze or the expanding universe. So those are the Big Bang models or the fate of the universe. Meron pa tayong mga iba't ibang theories regarding the origin of the universe or even its fate. The first one is the multiverse theory, wherein ibig sabihin nito, marami pang universe na hindi pa natin nakikita. Just like, kapag nandun ka sa isang lugar, yung nakikita mo lang is yung capacity lang ng mata natin. But when we walk towards that infinity, marami pa tayong makikita. And yung makikita natin, according to this theory, is that marami pang universe far from our sight. And another one, from the multiverse theory, is from Alexander Velikin, wherein he stated that alternate universe exists. Ibig sabihin ng alternate universe, marami ng universe sa multiverse, pero in each universe, sa multiverse natin, meron lang tiny variations. And infinite yung variations niya. That's the alternate universe. Of course, all of these are just a product of our thought, and hopefully in the future, ma-challenge natin yan and ma-test natin. Kasi, to be honest, hindi naman natin na-observe, and we do not know kung alin talaga dyan yung totoo at kung ano yung hindi. Gaya ng geocentric model, wherein they believe that the center of the universe is our planet, pero because of the advancement in technology, we were able to prove that our planet is not the center of the universe, not even the sun, but the center of the universe is the center of everything in the universe. Part lang tayo, tiny speck lang tayo ng huge, incomprehensible universe kung saan tayo nakatira. Now, punta naman tayo sa origin of the solar system. And of course, we had these objectives. And according to the hypothesis, kung saan galing yung solar system natin, meron tayong dalawa. The first one is the encounter hypothesis. Kapag sinabi natin na hypothesis as compared to theory, mas malaki yung chance na totoo ito. Kasi you can observe this one and pwede siyang matest. And right now sa universe natin, marami ng observations from the Hubble telescope and other data centers na nangyayari yung ganitong event wherein stars collide and then maraming nare-rip off na matter. And according to the encounter hypothesis, nung infant pa lang yung star natin, since chaotic pa yung universe natin, may napadaan na star or a rogue star. And that rogue star has enough mass para ma-pull in or masyadong malakas din yung gravity niya para ma-pull in yung matter from our star system. Of course, merong na-pull in dyan na matter papunta sa kanya and that accounted for his new mass. While our sun naman, yung remnant dun sa may near collision, it became the planets. So, of course, yung pinakamalapit sa star center natin, yun yung naging mass filled with matter or yung tinatawag natin ngayon na terrestrial planets. While yung edges naman, since dust and debris na lang yung nandun na situate yung mga gaseous planets natin. The next hypothesis is called the nebular hypothesis. According to this one, nag-form yung solar system natin based on how the universe formed also. Ibig sabihin yan, since dust clouds lang, nagkakaroon ng attraction until such time na nagkaroon na ng self-gravitation. And that self-gravitation allowed swirling motion or high angular momentum para magkaroon ng compact na star system or the star itself. And then along the edges, nagkaroon ng swirling motion and that swirling motion created smaller celestial bodies and yun yung mga naging planets natin. So from nebula, king star sa gitna, until such time nagkaroon na ng star system. Yan. And based on that, nagkaroon tayo ng product na yung pinapaniwalaan ngayon na hypothesis and that is the protoplanet. So the same lang siya sa nebular hypothesis. Pero medyo nagde-differ siya when it comes to accretion. According to the protoplanet hypothesis, yung accretion natin was only possible dun sa may gitna. Ibig sabihin nun, accretion is based on the motion of the star system itself or the nebula, kung saan siya galing. And dun sa gitna, nandun yung pinaka-saturated na part. Ibig sabihin nun, yun talaga yung nag-account for the mass of the star system. So, nandun yung sun natin. While yung neighboring parts naman niya, dun sa may mas malapit sa gitna, doon nagawa yung mga terrestrial planets natin. Well, of course, dun sa may edges naman, since lesser na yung amount of matter doon due to accretion, dun nag-form yung gaseous planets natin or lesser na yung matter na nandun. Instead, gases na siya. So, solid dun sa may gitna, while the other parts of the star system is composed of gases na and other materials or debris. So, yan. Now, how was it possible for life to exist on Earth? Mag-start tayo with the atmosphere. Right now, kung mapapansin natin sa mga space agencies natin, yung pinaka-first na tinitignan nila when it comes to possible life in another planet, the presence of atmosphere. Kasi nga, kapag merong atmosphere, merong nagpro-protect sa mga living organisms na nag-thrive doon. And at the same time, the atmosphere allows for greenhouse effect. Or at night, kapag facing away from the star system na yung planet, meron pa ring nagsisirculate na heat which will allow life para mag-exist sa planet na yun. And at the same time, merong mga gases na nag-exist dun sa may planet na yun. So, by this time, yung planet natin is mostly composed of nitrogen meron tayong hint of oxygen and carbon dioxide which is adequate para mabuhay tayo. More of one, for example, kapag mas dumami yung carbon dioxide natin, will fail us para mabuhay tayo. And right now, yan yung nagiging issue natin. Since tumataas yung carbon dioxide natin sa atmosphere, yung nagiging consequence nun is mas umiinit. And at the same time, yung carbon dioxide cannot be processed by our respiratory organ. Yan. Kaya, right now, mapapansin ninyo yung studies sa Mars, tinitignan nila noon pa kung meron ba talaga siyang atmosphere. The same is true with our twin planet, which is Venus. Din yung una na tinest nila nung nagpadala sila ng probe dun sa planet na yun. Which is meron nga siyang atmosphere. Pero sobrang highly pressurized and sobrang harsh naman nung atmosphere ng Venus. Sa planet natin, of course, perfect lang siya. And of course, kung saan nandun yung atmosphere natin, nandyan yung tinatawag natin na ozone layer. Yan yung isa sa mga protectors natin sa planet natin. Kaya hindi nakakapasok yung harmful radiation sa planet natin is because of the ozone layer. Along with the magnetic field. Yung magnetic field naman natin was allowed to exist kasi nga yung geological activity ng planet natin is mataas or maganda yung geological activity niya. Ibig sabihin, sobrang init ng loob ng planet natin. And that heat, nagkakaroon ng mantle convection which generates magnetic field. And along with that magnetic field, contributor din siya sa attraction ng gases natin para magstay lang siya sa planet natin. That magnetic field also redirects amounts of radiation, especially cosmic radiation and yung mga gamma radiation, na pupunta siya sa polar regions natin and na-observe siya as aurora. So, yan. The second one naman is the heat source. Ano ngayon kung may atmosphere yung isang planet, just like yung Jupiter and Saturn? Kung sobra namang layo nito sa sun natin. So, because of the heat source, kailangan adequate yung heat para ma-consider natin na pwedeng mag-harbor ng life yung isang planet. And yung tinatawag natin na just right na area, kung saan hindi masyadong mainit or malamig, is called the Goldilocks zone. So, without the habitable zone or yung tinatawag natin na Goldilocks zone, hindi kasi mag-e-exist yung atmosphere din lang natin. Kasi kapag sobrang init, yung tendency nito is mag-evaporate talaga yung gases natin. And of course, heat is needed para sa mga living organisms natin. Kung sobrang dim ng isang star, kung red star siya, mas malapit yung habitable zone niya or yung Goldilocks zone. Well, kapag sobrang bright naman or sobrang init ng star, just like a white star, sobrang layo naman dapat yung location ng planet para masabi natin na habitable zone siya or nasa Goldilocks zone siya. Meron kasi tayong dalawang sources, exogenic and endogenic. Exogenic pertains to the heat from the sun, which is yung nag-aalaw sa mga exogenic processes natin, just like weathering and erosion, mga weather patterns natin. Well, endogenic naman, yan yung nagkakos sa mga endogenic processes natin, just like volcanism and earthquake. So, another source of heat sa planet natin is yung internal heat. And that internal heat, hindi siya talaga nagpe-fade away dahil na rin sa na-maintain siya ng radiation din from the sun. And at the same time, continuously moving or nagkakaroon ng convection current dun sa mantle natin. Kaya hindi siya nagko-cool down ng mabilis. So with both heat from internal and external sources, nagiging possible yung interaction between and among subsystems natin. Kasi mainly, of course, kailangan natin ng power para magkaroon ng process. And yung main source of power natin is from the sun and from our planet itself. So may mga dalawang types of systems merong open system and closed system. Actually, both is correct, pero mas highly closed system yung planet natin. Kasi kapag sinabi natin na open system, there is enough exchange of heat and matter between the sun and the planet. And right now, meron bang pumapasok na matter sa planet natin from the sun? Of course, wala naman. Pero merong heat na pumapasok sa planet natin galing sa araw. While sinasabi naman natin na Earth is a closed system dahil matter and energy is distributed within the planet itself. Hindi na siya lumalabas sa planeta natin. So, meron tayong 4 na subsystem sa planet, and all of this interacts, allowing life to exist on Earth. The first one is geosphere, the second one is hydrosphere. Kapag sinabi natin na geosphere, it only accounts for the lithosphere or dun sa hanggang sa may crust lang. Ibig sabihin nito, rocks and minerals lang yung composition yan. Pag sinabi naman natin na hydrosphere, it accounts for the oceans, rivers, streams, and the polar ice caps. While the atmosphere naman, all of the gases existing in the planet, and biosphere, all life on Earth. So all of these interact through biogeochemical cycles, and yung process na yan is dinadrive ng sun and ng internal heat of our planet. Pwede siyang endogenic or pwede siyang exogenic. So for example, yung water vapor natin, that is one of the biogeochemical cycle. Paano na-exchange yung carbon dioxide and oxygen between a man and a grass? Of course, because of photosynthesis, which is powered by the heat coming from the sun, nagkakaroon ng chemical synthesis sa leaves ng plants. Kaya napo-form yung food nila, and in turn, nagkakaroon sila ng byproduct na oxygen na nabe-breathe in natin, which we can use. So, lahat ng yan is naka-link lang sa bawat isa. Just like rocks and minerals, galing siya sa loob ng planet natin, but because of volcanism, endogenic process, napupunta siya sa surface. And throughout time, napaprocess siya through weathering and deposition, or yung tinatawag natin na lithification, nagiging sediment siya. That one is powered by the heat from the sun. So, exogenic process. Lahat ng yan is nagtutulungan, lahat ng subsystems is nagtutulungan para possible yung life sa planet natin. Without one, of course, magfe-fail din yung ibang subsystem. For example, right now, yung atmosphere natin is nagiging saturated na siya with carbon dioxide. Yung effect niya sa biosphere natin is drastic. Nagkakaroon ng increase in temperature, therefore, yung mga ibang organisms natin is nag-extinct na siya. Those are the things that we had for the first part of the first quarter, or para sa my first long quiz ninyo. I hope na at least medyo naliwanagan kayo when it comes to topics na nandito sa my origins na lesson natin. I hope you review well, and I hope na balikan nyo yung mga videos na included dito sa review na to, and at the same time, review your notes and your textbook. So, if you have questions, please feel free to message me, send me a text. Please feel free to send me a message via Messenger. You can also call me kung gusto ninyong tawagan ako sa Messenger. Okay lang din naman sa akin. So, anytime by this week before the exam, ibigay nyo na lahat ng questions nyo sa akin. I will try to answer all of them. Okay? So, that's it for now. Good luck and take care. Thanks for watching.